Voters in Europe sent a message to politicians in Brussels over the weekend when national populists or quote unquote far right candidates and political parties surge in more than a dozen European countries, including France, Germany, Belgium, Italy, Spain, and Portugal. Candidates running in opposition of the EU's plan for mass migration and Green New Deal economics had a surge in many of these countries, specifically campaigning on the idea that growth has been stagnant or in many countries on the decline, and that mass migration is not working for the average European. Since 2015, millions of migrants, especially refugees from Syria and Afghanistan, have come to Europe, specifically in Germany. Germany had Chancellor Angela Merkel welcome every person who made their way into her country. And in that time, over the nearly 10-year period, more than two-thirds of Syrians and Afghans are still unemployed and dependent upon the state. Germany is really ground zero for the failures of the Eurozone, the failures of European bad politics on the economy and migration. A party named Alternative for Deutschland, Alternative for Germany, a very controversial party, which had many different issues over the last year and a half, but campaigned heavily against illegal immigration and mass legal migration, won seats despite being fined and censored from the establishment. And ultimately, the establishment political parties even were deciding whether or not they should make it illegal for that party to run for office to begin with. Despite all the fear tactics presented by the establishment in Europe, by the mass media in Europe, German voters felt compelled to vote for this controversial party that won't make a huge difference in the EU because they wanted to send a signal. Likewise, in nearby France, President Emmanuel Macron's party suffered a huge blow when Marine Le Pen and Jordan Bardella's National Rally came in first place with 31% of the vote. It was such an embarrassing defeat that President Macron decided to announce special legislative elections and dissolved parliament. The special legislative elections will be held later this month. And it's expected that Marine Le Pen and Jordan Bardella's National Rally will become the largest political party in France for the very first time in the legislature. It has huge, huge ramifications for the direction that Europe is taking. In Italy, Giorgia Meloni is already the prime minister. National populist parties are expected to come to power in the Netherlands and Austria as well. This is really the trend that Europe is setting. This is the trend that Europe is going and has been going since Brexit. If politicians do not wake up to the anger that voters feel towards mass migration and bad economic policies that sit there and present zero growth, or in some cases, present negative growth, this will ultimately lead to the rise of more national populist parties.